Fortnite Season 5 changed everything we know about the island, the lore, and the legend who is Jonesy. A little time has passed since the season began, and one thing has been playing on my mind. Who was Jonesy talking to on the phone? In today's video, we're going to tell you who I think it is, and I'll also prove it too. So sit your butt down for 10 minutes, slap code ADAMARU in the store for more story theories like this, and let's dive into it. Agent Jones, the imagined order, and the woman calling the shots. So much happened at the start of Season 5 and the end of Season 4 that some things went unnoticed. Just in case you need a refresher, here's the conversation between Jonesy and his boss.
They did it! We're still here!
Yeah, but the 0 point is exposed. You have to go in.
Oh, come on. Last thing we need is another snapshot of me inside the loop.
No, the last thing we need is someone escaping the loop. You need to get in there and fix it.
Understood, ma'am. I'm on it.
And do not draw the attention of the 7. Jones, are you there?
Wow, so much to unpack. Well, today our job is to uncover her identity. And here it is. I believe the head of the imagined order is Ramirez. To some watching, this will make everything click into place, but others will not have the same opinion, so I prepared something. Here's the evidence. Let's see if I can convince you by the end of the video. My first piece of research led me back. Way back to a time before Fortnite Island, back to a time of saving the world. A few trailers dropped for the game, and in the early release we met a bot named Ray.
Have you ever considered fighting the forces of evil? Because we really need a commander, and I think you've got what it takes.
It's a really annoying bot, so I won't dwell here. In the opening cutscene, Ray tells us our place in the team as a commander, and our first character is Ramirez. And then it happens. Ramirez speaks.
Ray, if you can hear me, now would be a great time to hurry up. What's our firepower situation?
Let's compare the two voices.
No, the last thing we need is someone escaping the loop. You need to get in there and fix it.
All right, people. Let's search this dump and get out of here ASAP.
And do not draw the attention of the 7. Jones, are you there?
Guys, who's up for pizza?
Do you think there's a similarity here? Could they be played by the same actress? Maybe not, but Fortnite has shown us that different actors will come in to play different roles. Like Troy Baker, he only just became the voice of Jonesy last season.
Can you hear me?
Over time in Save the World, Ramirez assumed the leadership role. She was always seen at the front, leading by example, front and center, when action was needed. But she was also very calm in her actions. But I know this isn't a story about Save the World, although I have to admit, I do hope one day the stories cross over because of those V-Bucks we all use. They're from Dr. Vinderman. And yet, 3 years later, we still don't see him in Battle Royale. I'm getting sidetracked like always. Let's realign this and look at Ramirez in BR. Battle Royale Island began as a humble place, a simple loop in time and space, not hurting anyone. We originally guessed this was a simulation to prepare troops in the Save the World universe for battle against the Husks. For this reason, we only saw a handful of combatants, because basically, this was a video game. Even at this extremely early point, 2 characters were viewed above all the rest. We now know Jonesy is one of them, jumping into the 0 point and leaving multiple versions of himself in the loop. But the second was unnoticed by many of us. Ramirez. She was with him every step of the way, from that first jump out of the battle bus to this very moment. Here's a bunch of times we've seen her alongside Jonesy over the years. Let's go back to 2017. Remember the first encounters of Fortnitemares? Jonesy and Ramirez were the first characters to receive a must-have skin in the store. Back when 50-50 matches were announced, Jonesy fronted one team and Ramirez led the other. She was even the first to be buggy bombed when that item was released. And oh, I like this one. And guess who brought in the minigun into Fortnite? It's Ramirez and that damn beautiful bright bomber skin. A weapon I miss to this day, the guided missile. The first target of that was Ramirez. Look, I could go on and on. Ramirez has been just as much a big part of Fortnite as Jonesy. It's back in Chapter 1 Season 3 that I'm most interested in her actions. Because the very first time we see anyone outside the loop coming to the world, it's via space travel. And 3 more figures. And once again, you know what I'm gonna say, these characters are either Jonesy or Ramirez. And we all know how space travel impacted the island in the end. Chapter 1 Season 4. Who led the team which found the meteor? Ramirez! Okay, I'll stop with all these references now, but there's loads over the last 3 years. Just know she's always been here, and other than Jonesy, Ramirez has the most variations in this loop. See for yourself. Open up your locker, you will be shooketh how many times you see a version of Ramirez. So let's stack up our evidence. We have 3 things to note. Ramirez has been set up as the leader of the Fortnite Save the World game mode. Ramirez and the woman on the phone have a very similar voice, building sentences in a very similar way. And thirdly, Ramirez has been in the loop just as long as Jonesy. Next piece of evidence. Let's break down one of her story beats. Back in Season 5 of Chapter 1, worlds collide. Remember this season? Damn, it was good. When Drift arrived on the island, we had this awesome weekly loading screen update which demonstrated how he integrated himself in the island, going from fear and trepidation into happiness and solidarity. Now look at these images again, and look at all the characters who are with him in all these screens. Almost every time they are either Jonesy or Ramirez. In particular, it's the bright bomber snapshot of Ramirez, who is coming increasingly close to Drift. Maybe it's a natural bond, or maybe it's a way to understand the powers he brought to the island, as he was the very first living thing to be brought through realities to this place. Although we still think it was accidental. What strikes me the most about this is that Drift's story ended, and seasons upon seasons went by without mentioning him. But something happened on the final day of the original island. We all said thank you to the bus driver one last time, and received this loading screen, last stop. A total of 5 seasons came and went, and Drift was never even mentioned. But he came back for this one image. And look who he's paired with again. Another bright bomber. Well, technically a beach bomber, but you know what I mean. Now take a second to look around this image. Every other skin here that is saying goodbye to the island is either a Jonesy snapshot or a Ramirez snapshot. All of them. I get the feeling they knew this wasn't the last stop. After 2 years, it became clear to see both Ramirez and Jonesy are working together. Yet she doesn't get the same airtime as Jonesy. When Chapter 2 arrived, we started to see less and less of Ramirez, yet more and more Jonesy's appeared. This made me think about how real jobs and career paths work, and how some people are promoted when others are not. This would explain why modern day loops of Ramirez are hard to find, but Jonesy's keep rolling up, loop after loop after loop. Let's change this up a little bit. During my research, I also looked at the bridge, this mysterious place Jonesy uses to gain access to our 0 point. The importance of dark matter here is integral. Science tells us, whether true or not, that's for you to decide, that dark matter creates a vacuum which, at a 0 point, could create time-altering effects. And now look at the energy plates used to create this effect. These slabs look awfully like Kevin the Cube's unknown energy. Stick with me here, I have a point, I promise. Remember when Kevin was created? It was back in Season 5 of Chapter 1, and look who was the first person to touch the dark matter cube and unleash the dark series of characters. It was Ramirez. She discovered the power of this cube. Ramirez is far more important to the story than we ever realised. Maybe this was the reason why she was put in charge of others entering the loop. And maybe she is the one who can tell us more about the 7.
And do not draw the attention of the 7. Jones, are you there?
So that's my theory. I believe Ramirez is the head of I.O., the Imagined Order, and therefore Jonesy's boss. What do you think? If you can add more to the lore, please let me know in the comments below. And if you disagree, that's cool, but remember to tell me why. If I'm wrong, who's your money on? Who is the leader of the Imagined Order? This episode of Fortnite Lore was brought to you by these awesome people who used my code in the store and sent me a DM on Twitter. Like usual, I'm about a week behind on shoutouts, but rest assured I will reply to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade. I'll see you next time.